In the vast universe of PC gaming, there's something undeniably special about teaming up with a friend to tackle digital challenges together. The best co-op games on Steam offer just that, an opportunity to bond, strategize, and share triumphant victories, or hilarious defeats, with your nearest and dearest. From puzzling out complex problems to facing down hordes of enemies, these games turn solitary gaming into a shared adventure. Take, for example, the chaotic zombie hordes of Left 4 Dead 2, where teamwork is not just encouraged but essential for survival. Or the mind-bending puzzles of Portal 2, which prove that two heads are definitely better than one when it comes to navigating its ingenious levels. Both games are celebrated not just for their gameplay, but for the way they foster cooperation and friendship. So, whether you're in the mood for action, puzzle, strategy, or something entirely different, there's a game here that will make teaming up with a buddy an unforgettable experience. Ghost Recon Wildlands, it's open-world tactical action at its finest. You're in Bolivia, taking down drug cartels with your friends. The freedom to approach missions how you want is awesome. You can go loud, go stealth, it's up to you. The co-op is seamless and the world is huge, so there's always something to explore. If you're a fan of tactical shooters or just want a solid co-op experience with a ton of freedom, Wildlands is a great choice. Coordinating those perfect takedowns with your team, so satisfying. Man, Portal 2, it's like you think you know puzzles and then this game comes along and just blows your mind. You and a buddy working together using these portal guns, trying to figure out these crazy mind-bending rooms. It's not just about solving puzzles. It's about figuring out how to work together. Like you're relying on each other, communicating. And when you finally crack a tough one, that feeling, it's awesome. Plus, Glass is hilarious, right? The whole vibe of the game is just so unique. If you're looking for a co-op game that'll make you think and laugh, Portal 2 is a must-day. Seriously, it's a co-op masterpiece. Left 4 Dead, the original. It basically set the standard for co-op zombie shooters, you know? You and your friends fighting through these intense campaigns, facing these terrifying special infected. The AI director, still awesome. It changes the pacing, the enemy placement, everything. So no two playthroughs are the same. Teamwork and communication are absolutely crucial, making this a thrilling and challenging co-op experience. It's a classic that still holds up, offering pure adrenaline-fueled zombie-slaying fun. If you haven't played this yet, you're seriously missing out on a piece of gaming history. Borderlands 2, this game is just pure, unadulterated chaos. You're blasting through hordes of enemies, collecting insane loot, leveling up your Vault Hunter with these crazy skill trees. It's so over the top, it's hilarious. And playing with friends, even better. You can play this game 1,000,000 times and still find new weapons, new areas, new jokes. The diverse character classes and endless loot make this a game you can play again and again. If you want a fun, action-packed co-op adventure with tons of personality, this is it. Okay, don't starve together. This game is just wild. You're thrown into this super weird Tim Burton-esque world and you got to survive, but it's tough, man. You're constantly scavenging for resources, crafting tools, trying not to starve. And those creatures, they're straight up creepy. But that's what makes it so fun, right? Working together with your friends to figure it all out, to survive the harsh seasons. It's got this super unique dark art style too, and the gameplay is deep, offering endless hours of challenging co-op. If you're into survival games with a serious twist, you're going to love this. Alright, so Left 4 Dead 2, man, this game is just a classic. You grab your buddies and it's pure zombie mayhem, but it's not just brainless shooting, you know? Those special infected, they'll seriously mess you up if you're not sticking together. And the AI director? Dude, that thing changes everything up every single time. You never know what's coming next, so you're always on your toes. Seriously, if you're looking for a game that'll get your heart pumping and test your friendships under pressure, this is an absolute must-play. You'll be screaming, laughing, and strategizing all at the same time. Deep Rock Galactic, dude, it's like, imagine being a space dwarf, right? And you're mining these alien caves, fighting off hordes of bugs, but it's not just mindless shooting. You know, each dwarf class has these unique abilities, so you're really working as a team. You're drilling, building platforms, setting up zip lines. It's just a blast. And when you're swarmed by bugs, man, it gets intense. But that's when it's the most fun, right? Working together, blasting bugs, getting that sweet loot. And the progression system keeps you hooked. If you're looking for a co-op game with a mix of action, exploration, and just pure, unadulterated fun, Deep Rock Galactic is where it's at. Rock and stone. Killing Floor 2 is all about that fast-paced, wave-based action, right? You and your friends are just blasting Zeds, trying to survive, wave after wave. The gunplay feels so good, and the perk system allows for all sorts of different playstyles. There's so much customization, you can really fine-tune your character. It gets pretty tough, especially on higher difficulties, so you really got to work together and use your resources wisely. If you like horde shooters with a focus on gunplay and progression, this one's a blast. Monster Hunter World, dude. It's like going on these epic, massive hunts with your friends. You're fighting these colossal monsters, crafting awesome gear, mastering these super deep weapon systems. It's a huge, immersive world, and there's just so much to do. Taking down a giant monster with your team after a long, intense fight, so incredibly satisfying. The game is challenging, but it's also super rewarding. If you're into action games with a deep progression system and epic boss fights, you got to try this. GTFO, this one's for the hardcore co-op fans. It's intense, it's hardcore, it's co-op horror. You're sneaking around in these dark, atmospheric environments, managing your resources, facing these truly terrifying creatures. It's super challenging, so you really need to communicate and coordinate every single move. It's not for everyone, but if you want a real test of your co-op skills, if you want a game that will make you sweat, this is it. It's a truly unique and thrilling experience. Back 4 Blood. It's like Left 4 Dead, but with a modern twist. You're still shooting hordes of zombies, or ridden as they're called, but there is a card system that changes things up every run. You can customize your build, adapt to the challenges, and it keeps the game fresh. It's got that same intense co-op action, and it's just a lot of fun to play with friends. If you're a fan of zombie shooters, especially Left 4 Dead, you'll definitely dig this one. Divinity Original Sin 2 is a deep, strategic RPG. You're exploring this huge, richly detailed world, making impactful choices, fighting these incredibly tactical, turn-based battles. And playing with friends? Even better. You can really get into the role-playing, create unique builds, and strategize together. It's a long game, but it's so worth it. The freedom to explore, interact with the world, and shape your own story is unmatched. If you like RPGs with deep co-op and a ton of player agency, you'll love this. Day Online, it's just a massive sandbox game. You can do anything you want, heists, businesses, races, just messing around in the open world. It's endless. The freedom to explore, interact with the world, and create your own experiences is what makes it so appealing. If you want a huge open world co-op experience with endless possibilities, this is it. PUBG, it's the original battle royale, right? You're dropping in, looting gear, trying to survive against 100 other players. It's super tense, especially playing with friends. You need to communicate, strategize, and coordinate your moves to secure victory. The tension is high and the gameplay is strategic, making every match a thrilling experience. The diverse maps and weapons keep the game fresh. If you like battle royale games and the thrill of survival, this is a must-go. Broforce, dude. It's like, imagine every cheesy action movie you've ever loved all mashed together into one insane game. You're playing as these over-the-top bros, basically parodies of iconic action heroes, and you're just blowing everything up. Explosions everywhere, enemies flying. It's pure unfiltered chaos, and playing with friends, even better. You're just running and gunning, rescuing prisoner of wars, and flexing your bro muscles. It's so ridiculous, it's hilarious. The pixel art is awesome, the gameplay is fast and frantic, and the humor is just perfect. It's like a love letter to 80s and 90s action flicks. If you're looking for a game that's just pure, unadulterated fun, a game that you and your friends can just laugh your heads off playing, Broforce is where it's at. Seriously, it's just a non-stop, explosive, brotastic time. Far Cry 4, man, you're dropped right into the Himalayas, and it's just this massive, beautiful playground. You and a buddy, you can basically do whatever you want. You want to tackle a mission stealthily, go for it. You want to go loud and just blow everything up, you can do that too. You're driving around in jeeps, flying gyrocopters, even using wingsuits to just glide around. It's crazy. And the co-op is seamless. You can just jump in and start causing chaos together. You're liberating outposts, taking down enemy convoys, just exploring this huge world. It's got that classic Far Cry feel, but with a really unique setting. And honestly, just messing around with a friend in that open world, it's a blast. If you're looking for a co-op game that gives you a ton of freedom and lets you just have fun, Far Cry 4 is a solid pick. Seriously, just cruising around with a friend, causing mayhem, that's what it's all about. Battle Block Theatre? Oh man, it's hilarious. You're running around, solving puzzles, fighting, all with this crazy, over-the-top narrator. It's just pure, unadulterated fun. The level design is creative, the humor is spot on, and the gameplay is fast-paced and chaotic. If you want a light-hearted, goofy co-op game that will have you and your friends laughing the entire time, this is it. Torchlight 2 is just classic dungeon crawling, right? You're looting, leveling up, fighting monsters, exploring dungeons with your friends. It's fast-paced and it's a lot of fun to play with friends. The diverse character classes and skill trees offer endless replayability. The gameplay is satisfying and the loot is always rewarding. If you like action RPGs with a focus on loot and progression, you'll dig this. ARMA 3, it's a realistic military sim. You're coordinating with your team, completing these complex missions in a large open world. It's challenging, but it's super rewarding. You need to communicate, strategize, and coordinate every move to succeed. The diverse vehicles and weapons offer endless tactical possibilities. If you like realistic military simulations and the thrill of tactical gameplay, this is a must-play. Brawlhalla. It's just pure chaotic fun. You're basically beating the crap out of your friends or other players online, trying to knock them off the stage. It's a platform fighter, so you're jumping around using all these crazy weapons like swords, hammers, even rocket lancers. And the best part, it's super easy to pick up. You can just jump in and start playing, but there's also a ton of depth if you really want to get good. You've got all these different characters, each with their own unique moves and weapons, so there's always something new to try, and playing with friends, it's a blast. You're laughing, you're trash talking. It's just a great time. If you're looking for a fun, competitive game that you can play with anyone, Brawlhalla is definitely worth checking out. Plus, it's free to play, so you've got nothing to lose. Halo Infinite is like a return to form for Halo, you know. The campaign's got this awesome open world feel, and the co-op just takes it to another level. You're grappling around, using all these cool weapons, taking on the Banished with your friends. It's got that classic Halo feel, but with a modern twist. The multiplayer is also a blast, with all sorts of modes and maps. If you're a Halo fan or just looking for a solid co-op shooter, this is a must. That grappling hook alone, game changer. Steep, it's all about that extreme sports action. You're skiing, snowboarding, wingsuiting, paragliding, all in these massive open world mountains. And doing it with friends, even better. You can just explore, do challenges, or just mess around. It's got this really chill vibe, but it can also get super intense. The visuals are stunning, and the freedom to just go wherever you want is awesome. If you're into extreme sports or just want a relaxing co-op experience, Steep's a great choice. Just cruising down a mountain with your buddies, perfect. Sniper Elite 5, it's all about that stealth and sniping, right? You're infiltrating these Nazi-occupied areas, taking out targets with your friends. The X-ray kill cams are still super satisfying, and the level design is really open, so you can approach things how you want. The co-op campaign is a lot of fun, and the multiplayer's got some cool modes too. If you're a fan of stealth games or just want to feel like a badass sniper with your friends, Sniper Elite 5 is a solid choice. Lining up that perfect shot with a buddy, so good. NBA 2K23, it's the ultimate basketball experience. You're playing with your friends, whether it's in My Team, My Career, or just playing a quick game. The graphics are insane and the gameplay feels super realistic. You can build your dream team, compete online, or just play some casual games. It's got something for everyone. If you're a basketball fan or just looking for a solid sports game to play with friends, NBA 2K23 is a must-have. Hitting that game-winning shot with your crew, nothing beats it. The Division, it's all about that loot shooter action in a post-apocalyptic New York. You're teaming up with your friends, taking on missions, collecting gear, and exploring the Dark Zone. The atmosphere is really cool, and the gameplay is super addictive. The co-op is seamless, and there's always something to do. If you're a fan of loot shooters or just want a solid co-op experience with a great setting, The Division's a great choice. Brining for that perfect gear with your squad, that's what it's all about.